Hey everybody, and welcome to another, or a first, or whatever episode of Talking WWE Supercard. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. And today, we're going to clear the air on some things, some misconceptions, and just some other questions, and other stuff and interpretations that I have gathered over the Intel sessions, blah, blah, blah. This was the question I posed on Twitter about almost a week ago. Holy cow. Says, so, let's say you wanted to ask some questions to the Supercard devs. What would they be? I might have some answers or interpretations and use your questions in a video tomorrow or 6 days later. What that means is everything that I'm going to talk about, these answers, they are not directly answers from Cat Daddy. All right? These are my interpretations of what we've discussed in the various sessions and stuff that... we've talked to each other about when at preview events and those sorts of things. And some of them are answers from a long time ago. And blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. Remember, this is not official Cat Daddy stuff. This is just bigedude stuff. Interpreting things that have been, hinted, suggested at, or said but can't be revealed yet, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so anyways... you wanted a video, so there we go. I'm going to read these comments, which are down here further, and then I'll read those comments, which are down there further. All right, first off, Captain Pie says, why don't you make an effort to take in complaints for the community, even if they aren't for a good reason, and then not acknowledge a lot of them? I do a lot, and I know a lot of other content creators do, and like I even said, been doing this for years, brother. Well aware, just want them to fix it. Well, not everything can be fixed. No game is perfect. There's always remember, and this is just common sense. Companies exist to make money and put food on the table for their family, friends, and shareholders and that sort of stuff. You have to realize that I can first off and foremost say that the people who make the WWE Supercard game and that are responsible for bringing us all together, they really do care about us, the players. They really do, okay? Now, some of you will immediately dismiss that comment just because of your perceptions on, what you think and feel. And that's fine. That's your choice. But, I was not suggested to make this video. I just felt like it was something cool to make, and it seemed like... I did kind of ask if I could make kind of a video like this, and it seemed to be responded to well. So, yeah, there we go. Anyways, here's some more questions. Robert LV, Robot, Robert, Dirt. What happened to the old YouTube account they ran back in Season 2? I don't know. All right, so this was something that we've definitely have talked about in the past. Will you ever put out an event to get older images of cards? All right, something that a lot of the community would love to have is access to older images. Now, here's the issue with some of the images in the past or just in general. Everything is all about licensing, okay? And this is why, like, one of the most requested things is where are the title matches on cards? Well, first off, now they really don't photograph the people with the titles anymore. Okay, that's the big thing, where they're official used in... those sorts of things. And different companies have different licenses. If you look at the Topps brand and something like, if you look at the Topps WWE Slam, those are licensed for that arena. All right. You have over here Supercard Land and 2K Land. They have other licenses and other things, and a lot of those licenses, as you know, they have a time limit. All right. That's how licenses work. All right. It did seem to be something that we were all very, very successful or interested in. And I think because you've seen them allow you to purchase images for Last Man Standing cards after the fact, I think that it's something that could happen in the future where there's, images that we could attain that might not necessarily be tied to a card, or more things where you might have this is just an example. Maybe you get a hardened image of, let's say, a Rey Mysterio or something like that. Kind of like how they did with the Ultimate one of the things that was asked us is, do you think that buying a lower tier card, which is basically what the LMS thing happened, would be something that people would maybe do? And I really think so. If you put it at that 1,000 credits, a lot of people love these images, and a lot of people are more into the customization of these things than I am personally. But there we go. Also, just in case I miss a couple of things, some of these comments may have swearing in them. It's just a disclaimer. Blah, blah, blah. They said back to season 3. Yeah, maybe back to season 3. But they'll only occasionally things like they did right. Older images would be nice to be able to obtain. Yes. Okay. Are we doing another Flash event? No. That will probably be ring domination next week. That's my assumption. But I don't know. It could be your Road to Glory. And this was before we knew exactly what was happening. How long did it take me to have a good team? When the events started happening, the first team that I had, those were like giveaway spots. The first team I had also had Biggie Dad on it, and Young Gary Oak. And once we had, once we didn't have that, it took a couple of weeks, almost a month, to get a consistently playing team. And then during season 4, I know a few members on the team didn't really feel that they wanted to do Team Battleground for a bit. And then so we instituted hey, you got to attack 10 times during that, and until now we don't have to say that anymore. Like we won our last one 14.5K to 14.1K, which was awesome. But that was something that we decided as a team, and I suggested that would be good. And then it just takes a while. I think it's easier to build a team than to just press your luck, trying to get a team. But, to build a team, you have to have at least 7 other players to play events. It takes a while, Here we go. Over-communicate. When the game is down, there isn't such a thing as too frequent or transparent updates. That was one of the suggestions I made. Like, even if you talk to everybody once a week or once a month, like a nice thing. And I think that even as the amount of time, and we're not including during the event, because events are going to do their event thing, especially when we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I think that overall, I think the communication that we will see in the future will be better. Even if people aren't really happy about it, it's like the communication shows. It's one of the ways that people can show that they care. I think that we will see more of that in the future. They ask them if they're making a new team event. It's becoming a little bit repetitive to me. First off, I don't know if that will ever happen. I'm sure as things evolve, there's always different things that could happen. Maybe that we have a team OTL event. I don't know. But it's always a possibility. But there's a lot of stuff to do in the game already. And remember, we also are dealing with the constraints of a mobile app, and not everybody's phones are like iPhone 10s, like mine's not. So it's always like what you can do with what stuff. And I'm going to talk about some of the other things like card limits and down the road. There we go. Ask them what their expectations were when they decided to create the game and how it's evolved. I can definitely tell you that they were definitely surprised at how much the game took off. And they're still surprised at how much the game took off. And that's pretty good. I just want to make sure I'm still recording. Okay, good. Can we have a setting where we select what kind of music we can put on, like Season 1, 2, or 3? Well, this also goes with licenses and how people are compensated for these things. I don't think that will happen, but it could, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know. But like I said, these are my interpretations of things that were discussed and maybe thought about, whatever. I would like to ask if they could change RTG. For me, the title matches are too long, or the matches are too long. Could they lower the card deck from 20 to 16 or 12 and only 2 instead of 4 rounds? I see no possibility of this. Road to Glory in its format has been the same, 16 males, 4 females, since Season 1. I don't anticipate any of this changing at all. That's just me. I mean, the amount of coding and time and effort that would go into that would just seem counterproductive, I think, in the long run. What tier do you have to be in to go for the event card? In Over the Limit, you have to be Shatter tier. Like the preview video I made, it kind of talked about it would be played kind of like Ring Domination. Sorry, I spaced out for a second. How can they use the image of the Universal title, but can't have images with wrestlers with belts? Titles, actually. And also if there's any team events coming. Like I said, don't know if there's any new team events. There's always a possibility. I mean, there's a lot of neat things that will probably happen in the future in Season 5. That's kind of what was hinted to us. But as I said, there's only so many things that can be done during a season and that sort of stuff. The Universal title is a solo thing. Okay, that's a support card. Wrestlers with belts, it's all licensing, and they just don't take pictures with them really anymore, like they used to. Why won't they admit they were wrong for lying to the community and saying they did not raise pull rates? First off, let's just imagine you are a company and you have a person that is a director of your online presence, and let's say that person may go, people come and go from companies all the time, and somebody comes into that job and maybe they don't know what the whole thing from the season prior is. I think that has to do a lot about that. And pull rates are always something that the community figures out. It's obviously that the community figured out that the pull rates were much, much longer to get in Season 5. So I think that's where the big sadness was. But also, remember, in Season 4, you had 3 tiers that were released 2 months at a time. All right, and in the beginning of a season, you always have 3 tiers that start, and to do like the 120 for a double plus tier would really lessen the length of excitement for the game. So you're not working towards being the best of being the best. Here's another little quick side note. You do not have to spend money to be good at this game. All right, it's all about how much time you play, and people don't like that answer, but it's just flat out true. You can see people that grind and grind and grind that don't spend anything. Maybe they don't get the first event cards and stuff, but eventually in the long run they do because they build their deck. And that's the problem when the new season, when you got 3 new tiers to go through, it just makes some people sad. Ice Shamey just saw this. This is brilliant. Here we go. The Supercard community is very passionate. Heck yeah. That's the greatest way to say some people do not approve of some things. How are the guys dealing with the backlash since they want to produce the best game possible? We've talked about that, and you know what? Honestly, it's just you have to think bigger picture. Now, you're always going to have people that are not happy and that vent towards me, especially, or let's say JB or Tony or other people that have been to these events and or make content on the game. I've seen a lot of crazy comments on other people's videos and or streams, which is just kind of sad sometimes because it feels like, you don't kill the messenger type of deal. But, like it says right there, the Supercard community is a very passionate bunch. And so are wrestling fans in general. You know what I'm saying? Is RTG happening with OTL? Not this time, obviously, we know this already. But this is stuff that could happen in the future. I think OTL would be great with RTG. I don't think it would work as well with Ring Domination, personally. I think it'll still work, but I think it's best paired with Road to Glory because you've got so many picks in that, which is great. I would never want an OTL with War mode because that's just not so good. Is there a following event like RTG or RD with OTL? Wouldn't be boring playing PvP all day. Kinda. And for those of you that didn't, have as many Money in the Bank contracts, I had like 5,000 to start with, and I have 0 now. Well, technically I have 12, so yeah. Anyways, is the new event like Ring Domination, or is it trying to get more points? It's more points are great. Solo points are great. We killed the heck out of the Over the Limit global thing at first, and then they made a really high reach reward, which we still have a chance of getting, actually. I personally like it because you can, if you get the 100 points for this OTL, you will get the global rewards, and it looks like they're going to be really, really decent rewards for, you know, especially if you only put in 100 points. And let's say only, but the bottom line is this event, the whole purpose for this event was to challenge these you solo players that want to get event cards and work together. You know, all the other modes like Last Man Standing, you are competing against each other. This one, you're really competing against yourself, and you are also trying to work as a team. The cards that you could get is kind of like Ring Domination, but you start with a tier or two below. This one is actually 2 tiers below. You can get 4 cards, then the Shattered, and then the other one. So, like, for me, being a Shattered Plus now, it was Gothic, then Neon, then Shattered, then the event card. And then you do 3 more on top of that. All right, so there's a bunch of more questions. Then I'm going to talk about some other stats from the first events, some things that went well, and that sort of stuff. So let's just... oh wait, I can't really do that. All right, so anyways, la 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 la, blah blah blah. Hey, look, it's me when it tux. Well, it's not a tux, but anyways, here's what I would do for OTL that I would change: bring the bounce back to 15 minutes, like every other mode except Money in the Bank, and 100 credits to refill. If those things happen, I would be very, very happy. Also, once I got 1 hype, got it times 2 and got 100, so I got 102 hype. But then again, another time I had 1 hype and I got 5, so I got 6. But yeah, and shout out to Johnny Gargano for being awesome and being the Supercard awesome. Unfortunately, this time around, the event did not scale if you increased your tier, which I would have loved to see happen because it would have easily happened in Ring Domination. I think because this is a first time mode, they didn't really anticipate that. Yeah. Also, if you're feeling down, need to vent, tell me I suck because I can take it. You know, there you go. But here we go. Here's the other stuffs. Oh wait, is this the same thing, or is this all? Why can't I read all the comments? Oh, here we go. All right, so here's the other ones from the original thing. Why not have old PCC images for CP or Battleground points? Excellent question. I would love to see stuff, or just even additional images. That's sort of cheaper packs like MEA 2K. I don't see. I think that 5,500 for the highest pack possible is it's been around there for a while. I think so. Why such a long claim phase after background is over, so we can still get rewards in mailbox? I think that's so you actually can take a break from the game. You don't want to spend. I mean, a lot of us we spend a lot of time playing this game already. It's, you know, a little addicting, like that. So, that is just, but I think it's just so, in case there is any issues with, an event, you have a little bit of time to, clean it up and that sort of stuff. Animated card images, that's constraints of the mobile game. I think, as things go further, you might see some stuff like that, but think about it. Any little, gift or something that goes into that, you're just increasing the amount of memory by a ton that you would need for this game. However, you know, who knows how long this will last, and that sort of stuff. Thanks for helping fix some resets. Yeah, you know, they want us to be happy. Okay, that's why there's free packs every 4 hours. That's why there's you know, team events. That's why there's giveaways. That's why there's fun stuff. That's why they do a lot of the stuff they do. A lot of people forget that stuff. It's like, what have you done for me lately? Why is there no card trade yet? I remember, like, the last time this was talked about was before, season 2 or season 3? The infamous interview with the awesome Harley by Tubby Emu said that they were looking at an auction house and that sort of stuff. I don't think it's ever going to happen. It's just too easy to manipulate. It's too easy to, you know, like, I have 4 accounts. I could just sell stuff to myself. And it's, you know what I'm saying? It's just too easy to break. And I don't think it's ever going to happen. That's just me personally. Yeah. Why can't they make an auction house to help you find the exact card? Too easy to abuse, I think. There we go. Why did you remove PCC? I think, You know what's funny? On Twitter, you have more of the people that enjoy PCC seem to be on Twitter. A lot of people hated it. The only people that really liked it are the ones that were able to get the card. It has been gone since season 2. I don't anticipate it coming back. If it did, it would have to be a major change. Put some bouts with it. You know, I would have loved to see like something with the PvP stuff to have event cards in it because you know PvP would be cool. Oh, this is a good one. I love this one. All right, why won't they reply to emails they get on a daily basis? Okay, the amount of people that send them emails is probably insane. That's kind of what we gathered, and the support team that worked for them that answered those emails. You know, it's a lot. I know the last time that I personally mailed something to Supercard help because I bought 20 packs and only got like one thing. It took 2 weeks for them to answer. Now I have everybody knows that I do have some contact with them. They follow me on Twitter. I can send direct messages. I've talked about some things with polls and that sort of stuff that way. And, you know, sometimes I don't get a response, and that's fine. But I'm still being able to discuss this stuff to where I know they could maybe see it. You know, it's just one of those things. You know, remember there's just so many people that play the game all over the world, and it's just you just can't. You know, and it's just realistic stuff. If they had a bigger team, maybe that would help. But you remember, I have no control over that. Why do you keep giving us crappy cards in the Grand Challenge Pack? All right. Well, this is an opinion, obviously. It's just sometimes you get good stuff, sometimes you don't. More times you don't. I would love to see improved drop rates and those things because it would be more exciting. But there you go. Why they made RTG up playable now? I don't understand that question, but I'm assuming. Well, remember, every time you have the beginning of a season, RTG sucks because it's just you hit walls and you hit walls and you hit walls. By January, or you know what? By let's say by early March, RTG will probably be the easier of the modes, except for heroic. I hate heroic mode. I don't anticipate heroic mode leaving because there's some people that really love it. You know, I personally hate it because of the time involved. But you've got some really hardcore grinders that just love to play and love to get everything you can out of it. You know, I like heroic mode during the summer when I don't have a job or responsibilities. That is what's up. All right. Why can't they up? This is a great question and one I can actually answer. Why can't they up the card limit every time they bring out a new tier or season? It all has to do with what phones can handle. And I can say this: in the future, with the way that the database and storage works, it is going to improve. Okay, we can't figure out how many cards there will be, but it's going to be improved. Like the analogy that they gave to us was like, imagine that the way that the servers and everything right now and the card limits and everything and the devices on the phone and how it all is set into your phone and into the programming. Let's say that was a Volkswagen, okay, a Volkswagen Beetle. And in the future, it's going to be like an SUV or a nice sports car, okay? We have no timeline for this, but this is stuff that will be in the future. And, you know, maybe in the future we'll see 500-600 card limits or unlimited. You know, I don't know the exact thing that they're thinking in the future, but remember, it's all about how information is stored, how digital objects are maintained and curated. It's all that stuff. Here we go. Why change stuff that isn't broken? Well, you can ask that for anybody. This is any game. Why change stuff that is broken? Because there's always improvement, and then sometimes when improvement happens, it's not as improved, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, that's just there's no answer. It's just, you know, it's what it is. Why the huge spike on pulls? I think it's from what we gathered. First off, this is my interpretation. You don't have the 2 months of tier right now, like 34 Goth or Goliath and SummerSlam 18. Those were all 2 months apart. So I think that was why it went down to that 120 for a double plus pull. I also think that the amount of stuff that's happening in the future and the way that cards are going to be delivered, like, we could get 2 shattered cards if we get to that thing, or buy your deck, your tier, or whatever, in the future. I think that was the whole purpose behind that. I don't think people would have really hated the amount of pulls if the communication was there at the beginning, but that's something that they never had to tell us. I hope you understand that. That's just something that they never have to really talk about. All right, so why the Universal Champ used for Supercard and other titles? Because it's not associated with a person. It's just easy to do that way. You could see the Heavyweight Championship maybe in another thing, but it's just about licensing and that sort of stuff. Okay, I've been following you since the beginning. I'm wondering if you could pass along some helpful tips to advance my tiers without spending cash. Team events, OTL, every event that you could possibly play, Money in the Bank, all those things. Play, and that's really, really, really what that's about. Yeah. Okay. So basically, it's how much time you have to spend on the game or the modes. Like Even Came for Life says, Money in the Bank. That's a great way to do it. Team events, if you can get on a team, you get on an active team battleground, you can get multiple neons or gothics or whatever tier your team is a week. All right, so will we get a free tier pull, or could they make it where you can select the kind of music they play? I think I've already sort of answered this one. Will we get a free tier pull? Every now and then, when stuff has gone kind of wrong in the past, like season 3, season 4. There has been tier pulls in the past. Who knows? Maybe they will do that sometime. They did give us a free enhancement for the team stuff. I don't know. I got one. Will trading ever be added? I already answered this. I doubt it. They need a button to pass and accrue picks. I like to build up my picks with King of the Ring and then do multipliers for TBG to prep, but I have to exit out of the game or after every Wild or Money in the Bank match. We were never supposed to be able to really accrue picks. That feature was something that I broke personally in season 1. One of my most viewed videos is where I do a 500 pick opening. You can still there's still ways to get lots of picks, but when you're doing it via Money in the Bank and that sort of stuff, you can only get up to 52 or 53 or 51, something like that. It's not supposed to be that way. Okay. That's just basically how that works. So I don't anticipate there ever doing something that will work like that. You're just going to have to keep doing what you do. All right, there we go. Here we go. Why can't there be no card limit? Why can't it just be unlimited or at least higher than 400? Touched on this already. A lot of it's how the phones deal with information, how that information is curated and other stuff. If you can condense things or have bigger servers and others, that sort of stuff, which will probably happen in the future, that will change the way the information is logged and stored and all that stuff. Why do they not communicate with the My NBA team, as that game has all the fun modes that are made correctly, unlike Supercard? Well, they're 2 entirely different teams, 2 entirely different games. I'm sure that they do talk some, but one of the things that the developers of we did kind of ask about this. Because one of the comments I made was I was kind of expecting, Blacktop Challenge or something like that. And they said, well, we've done that over there and we don't want to repeat ourselves. Cause and that was something like People's Champion Challenge, PCC, was direct, copy or reskin, if you will, of, the whole game is a reskin technically at the beginning, of, My NBA 2K. And, there we go. It's just they want to make sure every game is unique to the feel of the game. Like, having an OTL type thing where you have like a ring or even a ring domination. That doesn't make sense in other games, and that's why they don't have the same things in all of them. Okay. What are the pull rates? The best place to find out where pull rates are is the 2K forums and or Supercard Reddit. Those are the best places to find information on the game, in my opinion. Those things are always figured out by the community, and the community figured out that they were higher and not as happy. But the funny thing is like the way that you really progress this season is through the events and modes and team and stuff. There's obvious that's what was intended. And it's obvious that these modes like Over the Limit, that especially if it's in tandem with another event, that is pretty much why I think they have gone up with that and that sort of thing. Fix the servers in the middle of the game. It's kicking me out. There's a couple times that happens to me still, but I gotta say, from season 5, even just back to season 4, I really feel that. It seems like it's getting better, and these are also some things that we have found out as things are being rebuilt and restuffed. This stuff will get better. That sort of stuff. All right, so here we go. Why are you not guaranteed a specific tier card as overall rewards if you're under the event ranks in Last Man Standing? For example, if it's SummerSlam 18, LMS is a pro level card. Why can't that be as guaranteed Single or Goliath? That's a good question. I think they went with the pack thing so you have the ability to get those cards but not guarantee them. Life of the game, longevity of stuff, I think that's a lot of that. There we go. Championship images will not happen on cards again, I don't think. Trading cards for people probably won't happen. PC Team Championship probably not. What's the point of not telling us a pull could happen? We can't edit a top 8 deck. Oh, yeah, you can't edit the top 8 yet. The point of not telling us when a pull could happen. This is more like one of the things. One thing that I suggested is what if we could have, like, if you went into your, just your character thing somewhere on your page, let's say pull count, just a number. This was a suggestion I made because it doesn't have to be there. It doesn't. I lost my train of thought. You don't have... It's like something that you can't give away. They're like some secrets that people have to figure out, that sort of thing. But I think if you had a personal thing in the game, you would know how many hits you have, so you could expect when you could expect a pull or something like that. There we go. So will you ever give away a pack that contains the highest tier in the game? They've done this with QR codes. They're not readily available a lot. I'll get into that with other stuff because there we go. There we go. Did they anticipate getting this far? No, they did not. Why is there no reset button in case we want to reset fast? Confused with what you mean by that. If you mean by like just restarting your whole game, I think it's just to do more stuff. I don't know. That's a good question. But I'm confused by the question, Eric. But you are awesome, and sorry. But I got nothing. Yeah. So, anyways, is it PCC or just more LMS? It was neither. It was over the limit. Okay. Will they ever bring back images with titles belts? Probably not, unless the WWE starts doing that again. And things come and go during those times. Yeah. All right. So why is the game all about the money and not the players? See, I disagree with this because of people that play for free. There's so many ways that, first off, there's nothing wrong with playing for free. I played a lot for free back in Season 1 and the first month and change of Season 3 because that was my choice. I wanted to. Remember, if you don't have a game that has an income source, the game dies, okay? And that's just really how that is. I know it's easy to think that it is only pay to win. And I will say certain modes right now, I would say, and this is just me saying this, Over the Limit, this time around, if you wanted the event card or the heroic, was definitely pay to win. The way that I previewed it, the way that I thought it would be, you could easily have gotten through it just by it's 4 times as fast if you think about it. You can get 1 or 2 hype, and then amplify that, you could get, maybe 7 hype, but you could also get 100 hype, Why not a free set or free reset for every 100 games to 200 games? Well, first off, that kills the game. That's why. And this is my opinion. And it's really just everybody would level up so fast. There would be no incentive to try to make your deck better. It would kill the game. It really would. You have to go by those resets, not games. That's why it's important. What was the reason of removing PCC in the first place when they said it would come back at a later date? I think what it came down to is they had planned on putting PCC back in Season 3, and then they did some number crunching and, server crunching and that sort of stuff, and this, that, and the other thing. And I think it just came down to the fact that more people did not like the mode than did. And also, they probably, and here's another thing that I'm just thinking about, they probably had the idea that they were going to be doing, or the potential of doing heroic events, even though those didn't come around till Season 4. I think that was part of it. Maybe they were thinking in the long run. I don't really know. It just fell out of flavor, and there we go. So anyways, more stuff. Will they do more double pick weekends since the pick rates are booty? Every now and then, probably. I think that was just a nice, happy thing. All right, so now let's talk about Over the Limit. Over the Limit. Remember, I was lucky and honored to be one of the preview events. Oh, I'm gonna tangent again. There seem to be a lot of misconceptions of what is given to me personally. I will only talk about what my experiences and that sort of stuff. There are some people that think that because I make videos and stream, that I'm given hundreds of thousands of credits, or just a bunch of credits that are real credits, not the fake ones that are in like the preview video. And I get all these QR codes, and I get this, and I get that, and I get this, and I get that. Everything is handed to me. And I am going to tell you, it is not true. And I've said this more than once, but people always love to think that we're getting so much stuff. And we're not. It's just not true. It's just not true. Like, I am super transparent about everything because that's the man I am. That's who I am. And I don't have to be. That's the other thing. But I know that there's a bunch of people that love to watch me and love to watch stuff that don't spend any money on it. If you want to, you know what? One of the best free-to-play players of all time, in my opinion, was my dad. I'm a little biased, but never spent 1 cent on the game and just had so much fun with it. That was, yeah. To be dead. I was also thirsty. But there's been 2 times that I've gotten stuff. And remember, I never asked for it. Okay. There was that one time in Season 2 where I got 50,000 credits. That was a gift because of all the stuff I've done on YouTube and that sort of stuff. Building the community, helping build the community. I didn't build it. I mean, I helped build it from the beginning. I was told originally for the Season 4 preview event that I'd be able to give away everything, and then it was changed. And I felt bad, But other things, the Goliath tier and the WrestleMania 34 tier, and everything else, any other QR code I've gotten, first off, I made sure that I could give it away, and I did. I've given 20 something away over the last whatever, just because I think that's cool, and that's just who I am. Because I know, I've made a bunch from the YouTube stuff, from these videos, and I want to be a philanthropist when I'm older, and I'm gonna be older, and I'm gonna be 45 on December 21st. So yeah, happy birthday to me soon. But I just want to talk about the transparency. Like, I love the game. I'm not being paid to say this stuff. This is just me being me. for the community, because I love the community. I care about the community. And I think that we've seen some of the things as the community has evolved and developed, that some of that passion has gone against other community members. I mean, you could say about we were all in the NWO, and then we factioned off, some of us. It's just one thing. Not everybody's going to get along with everybody in any gaming community. But I like to think that we're doing better than most. That's just my opinion. And but I live that opinion. I love going to streams that I haven't, if I don't know their name or just have been there. Like, I rated a dude today on Twitch, and it was just cool because I did not recognize him. It was fun, and we do that sort of thing. A lot of us do that because I think that we all definitely care about the game and we all support the game. That's what it comes down to. All right, so this is a tweet that you've seen here for a couple of minutes. Just a brief history for people that might not have been around. Some events are really great when they first come out, and they change them to make them not as great because it's not as good, or that things did not go the way they were intended. You hear that every now and then, but it's just the way it is. Like, oops, let's fix that. First PCC gave out one pro, the Great Mokai. Remember him? Season 1, and 400 people got that image before you could even do anything with those images. And it was unproable. You could never get a pro because that event did not repeat. The second thing, Road to Glory, was the second event. The first one, you could green team all the way through the whole thing on +5s. I did not know that, and it was sad. I was in +2 jail for a long time. Yeah, that was bad. The third one, I love the comparisons between OTL and Ring Dom. The first Ring Dom was horrible. The only good saving grace was, number 1, it was summer, and number 2, that Sami Zayn, it was time I spent with my dad, and it was just great. And that's the reason why I won't ever delete that card, because me being there at my dad's house was because my mom having hip surgery, and she was in a hospital in recovery for 11 days. And that's why he ended up enjoying the game, because I played a lot. He started, I made some videos at home, where I grew up home, and my dad just hit the ground running. He started making Soul Hunter videos first, and then just hey, bigedude's getting people watching him all over the world. I bet you maybe, my dad was a ham radio operator, and he had talked to over 300 countries all over the world. And I think that was just another thing that got him thinking, hey, let's see how many countries people will watch me from. And those videos, he just talked about playing the game, and he never watched wrestling. That was the best part. He did not watch wrestling unless I made him, which was once, and this was before he even played the game. He just loved playing the game, and he had so much fun. But anyways, gave 2 picks for win and 3 if the doubler was used. I spent a lot of money on that Sami Zayn card. Yes. The fourth event, which everybody was really happy with and sad at the same time, the Triple H's that came out of that were so overpowered. And 30,000 people got the card. So it was not super difficult to attain. But you also had the horrible early booty arenas. It was even earlier than 47, I think. It was the 45 through 50 where coin flips. I don't actually remember. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I probably am. So, yeah, people like that. But then the Arena 47 was horrible for a while. And then, now that you go up to 64, and this is up through Season 4, maybe things are different even further. We haven't had an LMS in Season 5 yet. Maybe. Well, I mean, I like that once you get that 64 being the coin flip, there's so many more points that you can acquire and still get the card without spending any money. It is possible to get the card. Oh my God. I'm totally just seeing that there's a swearing word on there. Preach! Stuff like that. Anyway, I'm just gonna go back here. There's been swear word on my screen for 10 minutes. Oh my God. But, oh man. Anyway, sorry if you noticed that. Don't write it in the comments below. It's blocked anyway. But yeah, I like LMS as, and it's evolved. All of these events, these main solo events, and that's what. Let me just preface that because I'm only talking about solo events. Everything evolves, all right. And I know it's so easy to get bent out of shape these days, and just it becomes a shouting contest, and about things. And yeah, it's not what we want sometimes, and we're a passionate community. And if you don't hear from Supercard, you think that, oh well, I'm gonna just go yell at the YouTubers because they can talk to it, and we already have, But and there were a lot of the reasons I don't personally reply to lots of things on Twitter is because I'm responsible in my social media use as much as I can be. There's like a bunch of people that follow me, and to respond to one person on a public forum where I don't really need to, or if it's a controversial thing, I'm not going to respond on that. There's times where I type things out and I'm ready to hit send. And it's like, then I just stop and think, it's like, do I really feel like doing this? Do other people need to see this? No. But I'm very thankful a lot sometimes, respond or a like. I'm also, every now and then when people really just, it feels like they're just trying to abuse me, or they're calling me, saying I'm a horrible person, or this or that or anything, or I've ruined the game. That's sometimes when I'll respond, because I don't ruin anything. You don't see me ruining anything. And I was going to say something that might make some people mad, so I didn't. Yeah. And then over the limit, obviously, things will change. I really think that they will. The solo event is really, really, really difficult. I know that if this were later on in the tier and I knew there was other stuff coming, I probably would not have gotten this event. But I figured, I need to get the event. And I still do. I still need to get like 2,000 more points. That sort of stuff. But anyways, yeah. And, I just want to also say that no matter what tier you are in this game, thank you for playing, And here's just the shout-outs off the top of my head. Shout-outs to the people that are super hardcore, that you see on your walls, like Goody, and hope I said your name right, and SC309, and all the people that you've seen, like JB and all those other, like Edward, all the people, and those guys are content creators, but everybody that makes any streams or videos on this, I'm just very thankful to be in part of this community. And not everybody's going to get along with everybody, and not everybody's going to make the same style of video. You might have one person that makes, the highest hardcore content of all time, and might have gotten a heroic, and then you might have somebody that focuses on the free-to-play side, like the challenge packs or the battleground packs or other packs. And there's nothing wrong with how you personally play this game. And I think sometimes people just should remember that. There's not... You're going to like who you're going to like. You might not like me. You might like people a lot better. You might like me just because, I'm older. I'm a teacher. I don't swear. You know what you expect. You also know that I play this game because I love the game and I have fun with it. Everybody's going to like their own people. Some people might like the European people. Some of you might like German people. Some of you might like French people. Some of you might like Portuguese people. What's up? Deep Brown Rock and Metal. Or Portugal people. Yeah. Just shout out to everybody that ever played this. Some of you might like New Zealand people or Australian people or other people. There's so many people that make content in this game. It is a worldwide game. And that's really just what it's all about, I'm just so thankful to be a part of this. And if you ever think that we get handed these things, you think that, I'm particularly, I just bring it back to a different time. There was a preview event for season 2, and I was not invited to it. And I never said anything to anybody because these are corporations that are multi-million-dollar people, multi-million-dollar corporations, and they choose. I had no ill will ever to those that had that opportunity, and I've met like all of them now, and you know, then some of those people are really there. I mean, I'm just really glad that I have. They're really cool people, and I've talked with them in many different times. Like, let's just, for example, Tony and Luge, and you know, I met Tubby Emu, and his name's also Eric, and you know, these content creators, they were invited, and that was cool. And it was really interesting because people really, like, so many people defended me, and that meant a lot. But that was like, that wasn't something that, you know, I ever talked about, really. I mean, I might have said something in, like, season 3, like, I was just thankful, and that people, like, were just happy about it. But now, it just seems that some people are just not happy that some people get these opportunities. And, you know, they weren't ever just, they're not just handed, you know. A lot of the people that get those opportunities, they do a lot of content in Supercard and other games that 2K makes. You have to think about that. Whether you like it or not, that's just fine. But I'll only speak for myself on this. The only times I've ever gotten anything, I've totally talked about. Like, I did not get anything content wise, or not content wise. I did not get any QR codes or credits for visiting, you know, recently, and if I did, I would tell you, you know, and that's just how it is. But yeah, I feel that this cleared some air. I hope that you enjoyed this rant, or this is not a rant. I know that people will always be passionate, and here's what I would do if you are really passionate about something that is going wrong with the game. Okay, number one, keep talking about it. Okay, keep adding Supercard if you want. I'm sure. I mean, there's people that will still read it. They might not respond, like I said, because of responsible social media and stuff, and just the sheer volume of how many things that would be happening. Still talk in Supercard Reddit, talk in the 2K forums, talk in YouTube videos, talk in the Facebook forums, talk in the Instagram posts. There's so many places that you can speak, and I think that we're going to see more official communication from Cat Daddy / 2K in the future, because I think that's what I mean. We definitely suggested it. The people that were there, you know, visiting the other day, and I think that when it comes down to it, it is abundantly clear that they love wrestling. Okay, and it's obvious, and like the stories that we know, and I don't know what I can and can't say, but I'm really, really pleased and proud that Johnny Gargano is our Season 5 ambassador. The dude is just a really great wrestler, first off, and he's a great person further off, you know what I'm saying? And the dude plays Supercard, like flat out plays Supercard. Like, really great story that I'm not going to spoil because I have a feeling he will talk about it at some point, or other people will talk about it at some point that are Johnny Gargano. And it's one of those makes you feel good things, you know? But anyways, I love you all, and thank you for watching this. Love to hear any comments that you have on this. But I just want to make this is a super long video. Gosh, how long am I talking here? I'm scared. Oh, it doesn't tell me. That's good. This is not a stream. So anyways, shout out to everybody. And I'm not sure if you watch this end of this, please say Mr. Bacon is awesome. What's on what? And I did some Twitch sings yesterday. It was so cool. Those are all on that the on demand. I have to see what I can and cannot import to YouTube. But search Smells Like Teen Spirit on my channel on that thing if you want, and I will try to upload it here, you know, because it's Mr. Bacon singing it and it's ridiculous. But anyways, that's it, man. And love you long time. Blink, 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 bye, 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 yeah, buddy, yeah. And you are super cool. Bigedude out.